back here on Friday Night Football to start the second half of our show. A season ago, Seth, Iota was perfect before they weren't.
On a rainy, muddy night, the Bulldogs saw their 13-0 record dissolve. Perhaps making matters worse was watching district rival Eunice win it all.
Yeah, as we told you, the Cats are in 4A now, so these two met tonight to keep the party going. Iota's Dawson Wallace faking the handoff, keeps it for the touchdown, 7-6. Iota on top, a power run from someone not named Luke Doucette. Now, Doucette, of course, a big part of what this team is all about. Despite replacing 3 stars on that line, Josh Andrews feeling good about the big fellas and the team's ability to replicate last year's success.
When you block for a guy like Luke, it makes it a lot more fun for the linemen. They see him running over people, being physical, not running around guys. You know, they get fired up that he made those 10, 15, 20-yard runs.
I have not seen a power runner like Luke Doucette. Now, Iota went undefeated in the district last year, and while a few teams are gone, 5-3A still remains one of the toughest in Acadiana. Outside of the Bulldogs, Church Point Northwest will also have good chances to grab the district title, and teams like Ville Platte and Pine Prairie and Mamou are certainly not lacking confidence. Now, the big name that is missing, of course, from that district is Eunice, the defending 3A champions.
And every single district in Acadiana went through some type of change, including some powerful programs switching classes. The LHSAA redistricting will cause a major shift in district champs, along with contenders and pretenders. We'll start with Eunice and the creation of a practically brand new District 4-4A. The Bobcats in North Vermilion jump up in class and will be joined by Rain, LaGrange, and Washington Marion. Eunice believes they can contend for the district crown, but for another deep playoff run, their depth has to improve.
In 4A, you run into teams with enrollment much bigger than ours. Our enrollment's way on the bottom of 3A. So you get into depth issues. And if you get in the playoffs, you're likely to run into somebody with a lot of talent and more depth, and that's a problem.
St. Martinville, on the other hand, moves down to 6-3A and enters a district featuring Kaplan, Crowley, Erath, and Abbeville. The Tigers are happy to be a part of a level playing field.
Feel pretty good about it. We're playing some schools with our size, so that's always a good thing. But no matter what classification, they have good teams everywhere. But we're definitely happy just to be with teams that are same size with us.
Maybe the most intriguing district in Acadiana is 6-2A. Defending Division IV champs Lafayette Christian moves up to 2A and into a group that includes powerhouses in Notre Dame and Welsh. Lake Arthur is also in the district and feels like this gauntlet can only prepare them for the postseason.
You know, most teams are looking to win a district championship. District, to me, is preparing us for the playoffs. You're facing Welsh and Notre Dame and LCA and Port Barry in our district. So you got 3 state champions there. I feel like once you play your district, you're not going to meet anybody else that's tougher.
Well, in this new district, 4-4A Eunice will be the favorite coming off that 3A state title. LaGrange out of Lake Charles moves down to 4A and has had some success when in this classification. The real unknowns, though, are how Rain rebounds and with North Vermilion. Now, those Patriots played Crowley last night. A muddy affair in Crowley. Senior quarterback Darius Gilliam going to get the Patriots going on the QB read. He's going to gain a few yards before an army of gentlemen will bring him down. North Vermilion installing a new offense this year built partially around Gilliam's ability to run. Head coach Brett Blakey leaving the defensive side of the ball to take over that new-look Patriots attack.
Well, you know, you're talking about somebody who's got a little bit of game experience in him now, especially dealing with the offense and the direction that we're going with. You know, I think if he didn't have those 3 games, it would take him a couple of games to get used to the speed of that action, because the Friday night's a lot different from practice.
St. Martinville's changes are bigger than moving districts and switching classes. The Tigers lose a 2,000-yard running back in Travian Benjamin, an all-state QB in Markaven Williams, and their lead receiver in Jamel Fontenette. St. Martinville had one of the top offenses in Acadiana, so the question is, can that spark continue? Tanner Harrison hands the ball off to Cody Williams, and he runs a little over 20 yards, giving St. Martinville a first down. The Tigers' biggest dilemma is who will replace Williams at QB. Harrison and Brian Wiltz can see time behind center. For Coach Vincent Derwin says his playmakers would rather be in space.
To be honest with them, none of them really wants to be the quarterback, but we have some good athletes, and we just trying to rotate them in and out. They all want to be receivers or running backs. But by demand, we have to have somebody at the quarterback.
No one wants to be quarterback? Kaplan probably not having that issue. They've reached the 3A semifinals the last 3 years, taking on Rain tonight at Acadiana Vermilion Parish Jamboree at Abbeville High. That's Mason Frick completing a pass to Nathan Sistrunk in the Pirates win tonight. No doubt that the Pirates have established themselves as a power in Acadiana, but that coveted trip to the Superdome still eludes them. It's a goal this senior group is determined to scratch off the bucket list.
When you're that high, like when you get that far, the first person to mess up is the one that's going to lose, and we were the ones to mess up.
I think the coaches are doing all they can. I think it's just up to us to find out how far we're going to go again this year. I've been a 2-year starter, so I know how it feels to come that close and lose it. And it's hard to let everybody else know how that feels without actually being on the field. But I think it does come down to having to feel it and know how close you come and wanting to come over that hump.
Well, the Pirates are the reigning 3-time district champs, but could feel a little pressure. Even with some new names on offense, St. Martinville should be a contender for the district 6-3A crown. Crowley moving over from 5-3 will also surely have something to say about that race.
No, absolutely. In District 4-3A, Jennings returns to practically the same district. The only team that exits is Washington Marion, the Bulldogs finishing 3rd last year behind undefeated Lake Charles College Prep and St. Louis Catholic. Now, Jennings had a rare off year in 2018. The Bulldogs finishing 5-6, including dropping 5 of their last 6 games. They faced District 4 Iowa last night. Jennings doesn't expect to run into those problems, though. In 2019, the Bulldogs returning 12 stars, including a couple of absolute stars. Sophomore running back Trevor Etienne, the younger brother of Clemson star Travis Etienne, he already has an LSU offer, and junior defensive tackle Keenan Landry also has an offer to play for the Tigers. Well, this season, Friday Night Football has a few changes, including 7 more minutes. So what do you want to do with all of that time?
I don't know. Let's talk about during the break.
All right.
But first, our final Top Squad, brought to you each and every week by Cox Communications.
Make some noise for the boys.
The Wellness Club of Lafayette would like to thank the official orthopedic surgeons for tonight's game, Dr. Tommy Montgomery and Dr. Peter Vizzi.